Hey, Sound Engraver here. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to an announcement involving SuperCollider, the audio synthesis software that I work in from time to time for my experimentation purposes, my sound experimentation purposes. I've been working in SuperCollider for about 5 years or maybe even longer, and I really started SuperCollider when I started my YouTube channel. SuperCollider really was the topic for my videos, that and Logic Pro for my music and my sound work. And, hence the name Sound Engraver. And so I started my channel about 2018, September 2018. We're now September 2022, so my channel is 4 years old with content and all that. And I had a lot of fun just presenting SuperCollider demos. These weren't really tutorials in SuperCollider. It wasn't really a matter of instruction, more like a demo to show you what code and experimentation I'm working with. Well, over the 4 years doing SuperCollider, I really compiled a playlist of these SuperCollider demo videos, and I found out about a few weeks back that it was a total of 97 videos for my SuperCollider demo playlist. And that's a long playlist, and even more, it was very much scattered. It was very much disorganized. So a few weeks ago, I decided to take 2 days, 2 to 3 days, and really the inverse of consolidation. I was taking 97 videos, a playlist of 97 videos, and I decided to make it into topical playlists. And I have in total 8 different playlists. So you can see that I have a SuperCollider playlist for composing. I have 3 videos here for sound synthesis and the sound synthesis basics. I've got 15 videos here for granular synthesis and 15 here for FM synthesis. So we got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got live performance setup if you're interested in setting up for live performance and maybe using Logic Pro as your digital audio workstation. I also have MIDI here. I have 17 videos involving MIDI protocol. And I also have, I know that I have more. Oh yes, this is a pretty extensive one. This is strictly the topic of the class pattern. It's really handy if you want to work with indeterminacy and using the indeterministic score. And we've got 5 parts and some experimentation here, experiments, and a rhythmic study. So that is the pattern class. And that's a topic, that's a very specific topic. FM is a very specific topic. Now, a couple things to say involving these playlists is, the first is my very early videos. Back in 2018 when I was just starting the YouTube content, I really wasn't knowing what I was doing. I was trying to figure out how to make a video, produce a video, and teach and talk about SuperCollider. And my first few SuperCollider videos, I would say for the first few months, the code is really small. It's unbearably small. You wouldn't be able to see it on your phone, maybe not even on your laptop. I have a big desktop, so I really wasn't paying attention. You'll see a lot of white space, just empty space. The post text isn't wrapped around, and so the format isn't really that readable. Getting into 2019, mid-2019, kind of in the spring, my code is enlarged. I decided to enlarge the text so you can see it, the format is good, and I will, of course, continue being mindful of how big the code is. The other thing I wanted to say is that not everything is organized in that, oh, this is the first video of the playlist, so this is the easiest content. Then she's going to work into more advanced content and techniques. It actually is a little bit, because I wasn't doing this as a class or as a session, it is kind of scattered. It's still, even with something like composing, rhythm part 1, rhythm part 2, there's no easy level, medium level, or difficult level. You'd have to kind of work through it. Again, I highly, highly recommend Eli Fieldsteel for actual instruction in SuperCollider. Again, these are to be treated and viewed as demos, just to work with. But if you ever are interested in my code, the code that I was inspired by Eli Fieldsteel himself with his code, and then me just working in my own code, I actually am offering, in the next month or two, I can't give a guaranteed date, but I do plan on working this fall I plan on bringing you my code where you can have access to it publicly if you guys are interested in working in SuperCollider. So with that, I'm going to show you Pastebin. And there might be other web pages, websites for posting code, but I did see FieldSteel a long time ago use Pastebin. People still use it now, and it looks pretty basic, pretty easy to use as a non-programmer, because I am not a programmer. I work in code, but I don't really write code like a programmer. So what I plan to do with Pastebin is to post a document of mine, maybe something on basic sound synthesis, and give you that document to access for your own SuperCollider purposes. Because if I just emailed you a syntax, a set of text, or a block of code, it isn't formatted as it should be in SuperCollider. So for instance, I will show you my reverb synth. I go ahead and copy that and then paste it here. And voila, you have everything marginalized as it should be. And so I would just say something like reverb synth, inspired by Eli FieldSteel, of course. And then I would say something like, okay, this is for music. By the way, this is my first time kind of using this. So just, be on the lookout for that maybe in a month or two. The syntax that I'm highlighting with is, well, it is actually seen all the way down here, SuperCollider, which is quite nice. SuperCollider is popular. It's wonderful to see. When I started SuperCollider or started learning SuperCollider, it just was not a known thing. It was just known in Seattle, in Japan, and some parts of the US, and maybe France, and that was it. So one thing I would probably do is just never have an expiration date. I would have exposure to the public. Anything really advanced, I probably would have an unlisted. I would either go between public or unlisted. But, if people needed to, use a reverb synth, I'd give it to them, and they'd have access to it using Pastebin. That's everything here. I actually have to sign up. I haven't signed up on an account yet, but that's what I'm looking into in the next, I would say in the next 2 months. I want to start posting my own code and my own documentation, or documents rather, all my SuperCollider code involving the stuff like granular synthesis and MIDI protocol and all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested in working in SuperCollider, you could have access to my code. I think it's just a gesture I'd like to do, and to give away as I'm continuing in SuperCollider as a sound scientist, someone who experiments with sound engraver. That's who I am. So anyway, so if you are interested in SuperCollider, I've got 8 new playlists for you. And also in the next 2 months or so, kind of be on the lookout, maybe end of October, November, be on the lookout for actual Pastebin posts where you have access to the code. Just bear with me. I'm going through a lot of documents, and I'm just trying to make sure that the code is working efficiently. There's nothing redundant about the code, and you're getting the best optimal syntax for that. So hopefully you like that idea. Until I see you next, keep producing the art and music you love, and I will catch you later.